Hello everyone, welcome to OdinSchool. Today we are going to learn about most important aspect about Tableau. Tableau desktop basically, dashboard and stories. Dashboards are very vital compared to stories because the end product of any data visualization tool will be a report in the form of dashboard. Dashboards contains multiple components in it, like we can set actions in it, we can filter some data in it, we can keep it interactive as well as dynamic. How are we going to build a dashboard, and how can we take the help of the features in Tableau desktop to achieve most in a very interactive and a dynamic dashboard? That is what we are going to see today. We are also going to see storyboard, which is not a very advanced component in Tableau, but however it helps you to present your work, visual representation of the work that we have done to your stakeholders and clients. It works more or less like a slide presentation. We will see both these major components with a lot of examples. Before we get into the content, let's first ask ourselves, why should someone learn Tableau? Tableau is undoubtedly one of the most powerful data visualization and data analytical tool. It does not perform hardcore analytics, but as a keeping it as a data visualization tool, expecting it to perform data analytics is still a it's not the right way to look at it, but still Tableau offers us both descriptive and predictive analytics to the best. Now, whenever we have huge amount of data, it becomes really tough as a human being for us to consume the hidden information and the pattern inside them. How can we go about that particular situation? We would rather convert that particular information into visualization through which people can understand the hidden trends and pattern. A data visualization is all about converting the raw huge amount of data into visual representation through which the contextual understanding of the data can be extracted out of it. Every business, even the smaller business, would require a data visualization team, or it requires a reporting environment through which they can understand what is happening in the business, where they need to focus, where they need to leverage their abilities in business, where they can actually promote a particular product. For all the answers, you need visualization. Hence, learning data visualization becomes mandatory irrespective of your professional choices. OdinSchool is a technology upskilling platform. They help us continuously acquire new skills. Their motto is to stay skilled and stay ahead. About me, I'm Gautam Kumar Jayachandran. I have 6 years of experience as a senior data scientist. I work in several technologies, starting from Excel, SQL, Python, Tableau, machine learning, and analytics. I teach a lot of other technologies as well. That said, let's see what is the agenda for today. The agenda is to learn how to work on a dashboard, what are the dashboarding features, and how can we leverage the ability of stories and formatting to perform the required operation. Let's get started with the first thing, dashboard. It's completely a visual medium, so I'll get started with a data set. Sample superstore dataset I'm picking, so you can also follow along. Now when we have this if I wanted to create a dashboard is simply nothing but collation of all the reports and views that we are going to have. Say for an example, I will create 6 different views, 6 different charts, and then I can collate all those charts into one place where it can be interactive with each other, and the user will be given the option to filter between information and toggle along. So we will see different components that are there inside the Tableau environment and build a dashboard out of it. Sample superstore, there are a lot of dashboards. Maybe I'll pick another data set. um, Let me choose a data set because it has to be a little challenging. This data set is very clean, then there will be no learning if there is no issues in it. Let me pick a tougher data set. Hmm. BI Tableau, um, EDA dataset. What dataset do I have? Movies metadata. Perfect. Let's keep this then. So I will add a dataset which is a flat file. So I'll use text file option. I'll go to documents. Where is Tableau? Perfect. So we will have information about movies in this data set. Let's see how many columns do we have. We need more columns. That way it becomes very helpful for us. Let me remove this migrated data. I just need this information. I have double clicked this. Okay, there are three existing features. Perfect. Looks like a fantastic data set. Let me delete this. And we have only columns that are required. Perfect. So let us remove the existing data source also, which is sample superstore. Let's keep only movie metadata file. Let's go back to our file. We don't need this parameter. I'll delete this. We don't need this also. Then these two folders also we don't want. Perfect. This is a clean data set. We have dimensions and measures. These many dimensions and these many measures are there. So let's use this to the fullest and create a dashboard out of it. So we are going to create a dashboard on movies dataset. For creating dataset, the dashboard, as I told in the first place, we need multiple views and charts through which we will be collating all and creating a dashboard out of it. First thing is, let's create views for creating a dashboard. We have budget, duration, gross collection. Okay, maybe first thing that I wanted to see is top 10 movies by collection. Let's drag this into the view. Movie name, let's take the movie title. Perfect. But we cannot show all the movies. I think the number of movies we will have is going to be more than 1,000. We have 4,900 movies here. We don't want these many movies, so I'll simply keep the top 10 movies. So I'll drag movie title into filters, go to the top condition, choose top, and then choose by sum of gross. Apply, and you okay. That's what we would like to see in the first chart. Again, I don't want to see the headers here. I am not a fan of regular bar charts, so I would like to try, convert this information into something that will look beautiful. So I'll see if it is sorted. How does it look? It looks okay to me. So I'll create a funnel chart out of this, which is also a butterfly chart. So to create it, I'll duplicate the sum of gross various. The second element will be the negative, so that it will be equal to each other. Let me transpose this. Perfect. Right click and deselect and select edit axis. Okay, I think it has to be the first one. Now it should look perfect. Right click, format, go to the grid lines, remove all the grid lines. Yeah, we don't want to borders also. I'll remove the borders as well. Yes, once the borders are removed, looks like the movie titles are too big. Perfect. And then we don't want this header also. Remove this. And then let's format this. How do I want it to show this representation of dashboard? I would like to keep a darker shade of dashboard and then keep the charts in the lighter color. So I'll go to shading option here and then choose the entire sheet to be present in a darker shade. Let us pick a color. The entire sheet has to be in this color. Mm, this looks okay, but we need to work on the chart sizes and the colors. We will work on that. We'll have to also work on the font colors here. So I'll go to the font here. I will choose it to be book only. It can be bold. It has to be white. That's it. That is all I need to have in this view. And then what I would like to do is I'll go to the shading. The shading I would like to keep in a different okay, let's keep it in the same way as well, and that is also fine. I'll go to header. Header should be bold, so I'll choose Tableau bold, keep it bold, and then keep it in the middle. Sorry, bold, perfect, middle, and we have it. I'll go to alignment now. I wanted the titles and the headers to be aligned properly, so I will ask the machine to give me the pane in the middle or maybe in the left side. Okay, this is default. Okay, let me put it in the rows. In the rows I would like to keep it in the left side. Yes, that's it. That is all we need to have. Columns, we don't have any information, but I will change the header here. For changing the header, I will simply pick the alignment only. Double click on this and then select this, pick this, apply. Now that the chart is created, I didn't like the color that we have here. We also don't want to show any tooltips in this, so I'll just remove this, keep it as simple as it can be. So we have the movie names here, and we have the values of each and every movies that collected some amount, basically the collection of each and every amount. This is the top 10 movies that we have in the entire history. Avengers seem to collect more than any other movie that has released so far. So what we'll have to do is we'll have to change the color of the bars. I didn't like the color, so I like to keep it in the lighter shade. Yes, darker green in the background and lighter green in the foreground. Then what we can do is we can show the value of collection as well by uh, gross and sum of gross, and this one. So I'll also try to keep this in the right side of the data set. Right side middle, which is totally perfect, but the font seems to be too big, so I'll keep it 7, bold, pure white, and that should work, or maybe 8. Perfect. But the problem again is the values are not very formatted. So right click, default properties, number format. I'll go to, this is currency, right? So I'll first pick currency custom. It has to have only one decimal places. Negative value should be like an accounting format, and it has to be displayed in dollars, not in rupees, and it has to be displayed in millions. I would like to see all the values only in millions. If I see this, looks like the Avengers have collected $1 billion in collection. Avatar has collected $760, 760 million. Jungle Book has collected 725 million, and all those things respectively. Now the font, again I can work on the font for the titles. Again, okay, book is there. I'll just keep it bold and see what happens. Perfect. This is what I wanted to see. This is what one chart is. This is our top 10. This report, this chart basically talks about top 10 movies by collection. So what I'll do is I'll right click, copy the formatting, because if I'm going to create a new sheet, I don't want to have a different formatting in this case. I will have the same formatting just like we did in the first place. Now let's see what are the other measures and dimensions that we can take to generate a value, generate another year out of it. Okay, I would like to see in which year we had the maximum number of movie releases. So starting from 1920 till 2020, 100 years of information is there. I'll just keep, this is actually a date, but okay, let me put it in numbers. Text. Um, 92 years are there in this, okay, which is huge. um what I can see then, okay, budget against gross, okay, perfect. So we'll take the same top 10 movies, but we will see what is the budget, what is the gross collection that it made, so we can tell the profit as well. So I'll just keep sum of gross. Here I'm going to pick movie title into columns, and what is the budget, and what is the budget also. Let's format this first. Default properties, number format. Again, this is also custom only, which will have only one decimal place. The display units should be in millions. It should be depicted in dollars. Then we would like to see the collection that these movies made as well. So gross, I'll drag it down. So you can very clearly see what is the what is the collection that each and every movie made after spending what is a certain amount of money, basically the budget and gross. Yes, by spending 400 million, gross collection was 668 million. So basically 268 million profit. Avatar has earned more than 500 millions profit, and we can see Jurassic Park also making more than 500 million profit. Avengers making more than very close to 1,000 million in profits. So it's a huge amount of difference between the budget and the collection that the movies made, which tells us the profit. So I'll say profit. I'll say budget versus collection. I'll paste the formatting. Once I paste this, everything will be like this. I'll right click format this as well. I don't want anything in my row banding as well as column banding. I'll keep this none here as well. So our data becomes clean and good. I want to show this title, but the other things will be there, budget and gross. So what we can do is, yeah, let's create a chart. Let's create a bullet chart out of this. So if you see here, the budget is here only. This is the budget, but the gross collection is somewhere here. Here we have the collection for a budget which is very less compared to this. So by seeing a bullet graph, we will be able to see it. Other which ways, if you don't like the bullet graph, what we can do is we can simply create a normal bar chart, and then give the gross budget, and then show it separately. I'll show it as a Gantt bar. Perfect. Again, change of color. I'll keep the same light color that we picked in the previous case for both the cases. I'll simply increase the size of the Gantt bar. Perfect. We don't want to show any values here. I'll dual axis this. Convert everything into bar. The first one budget will be in. We will talk about this. I'll convert this into a Gantt bar. Budget, let's colorize this. Budget will be in lighter shade of green. I would like to see what is the color that we have by default, and then choose the RGB for this. Number color, I'll go there. I'll choose budget to be in the lighter colors. Grass collection can be in orange. I think it will make sense. Now it is not synchronized. I'll synchronize this and then deselect this, and then format this also in the middle. I'll put this in interview, right click, format, remove the grid lines. We won't want any grid lines whatsoever. I'll remove them. Once I remove them, we can very clearly tell the information. Now what I'll do is I will drag gross collection into text as well as uh, I would like this to be in the top of the middle. Perfect. And I'll also show the budget. What is the budget? The budget will be in the text, but it will be in the middle, and then it will be in full black. It will be Tableau bold, so it will look a little thicker. And same format we can keep for this label as well. So it can also be Tableau bold, can be 7, and it can be bold. It can be pure white. Now let's see the collection. Let's see the information. The first chart that we have is top 10 movies by collection. How much each and every movie has collected, and what are the top 10 movies out of it. It's a funnel chart, depicts it. In the second chart, we have created budget versus collection, where we can very clearly tell the budget of Avengers is very less, whereas the collection is very, very high, 1,246 million. It is basically more than $1 billion. So, but see here, Hong Kong has been made out of a huge budget, 621 million as a budget, but the price that they earned, the gross collection is only 654. The margin of profit is very, very less in King Kong movie, and I think in all other cases it looks good only. Spider-Man 3 also has been made in a whooping budget, but the movie has made a little profit only. I think the movie Jurassic World has made huge profit by because it has been created, it has been made only with $150, and it has earned more than $600, which actually tells the information. I don't want this to be completely big, so I'll simply say to light saga. That way it doesn't affect more space. The previous chart also it will be changed into Twilight Saga. So we have made 2 visualizations. Let's go on to create another 4 visualization, because for a dashboard to look nice and clean, at least we need 4 or 5 or 6 visualization. This is how a dashboard will look like. We will build views in this once we are done with creating the reports. Let's create our third report. What is the third report I would like to see? Okay, movies, the top 10 movies with high IMDb score. I think IMDb score shouldn't be a sum, it should be basically a dimension. Movie title, yeah. So we have movies here. So I'll say movies by top 10 by IMDb score. Look at this, I'll just put this. So Ben Hur has been given 2 reviews, 6 and 6.1, 9.1, 8.2, and we have 7.9, 7, 6.7, 7.2, all those things. These movies have gained more reviews, but it looks wrong to me. Let me check what I have done here. Top 10 by sum of, no, 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 by just maximum IMDb score. Yes, this makes sense. I just made a mistake of keeping some. I'll just choose into maximum. Perfect. Now we have the top 10 movies with high IMDb scores. The maximum IMDb score that we have is for Towering Inferno, and we have Shawshank Redemption for 9.3, Godfather for 9.2, Decalogue for 9.1, Kickboxer for 9.1, and all the other movies apparently. I'll sort this from descending to ascending order, and then if I wanted to see how much of a collection that these movies made, even though the values are high. In this case, if you see, we don't have excuse me, we don't have a movie collection, gross collection for movies like Towering Inferno, Kickboxer, Fargo. We don't have any. We don't have information. Looks like only The Dark Knight with very high IMDb score has generated more revenue. All the other movies have made lesser revenues only. Maybe instead of this, we will try to see a different view. Okay, duration of the movies. Perfect. Perfect. So what I wanted to do here is I would like to see um, IMDb score versus duration. I would like to see if any relationship is there between IMDb score versus duration. If the duration is less, will the score be high? I just wanted to check that with this chart. So I'll just deselect this. I want to see this. I'll paste the formatting here, copy the formatting, paste the formatting, and then that's it. We have this chart ready, clean. And then let's format this values format. I would like to keep it in the middle. Yeah, that's what I have to do. And then I'll choose the color that we have picked so far. And then what I'll do is I will drag sum of duration into the label. Again, I'll ask the machine to show it in one particular place, which is going to be full white, but it will be in the outside of the blend. The font has to be very small. It will be Tableau bold, bold. Yes. By seeing this, movies lesser than 2 hours are making really good. Most of the movies that we have in top IMDb score are having duration less than 2 hours of the overall picture span. There are very few exceptions for more than 2 hours. Are Dark Knight, Godfather Part 2, and Shawshank Redemption, where the movie lengths are bigger than 2 hours. In some cases, the Godfather Part 2 is actually greater than 3.5 hours. It is actually close to 4 hours. But still, the movie gained amazing scores in this. I'll simply remove the tooltips. I don't want any tooltips in both these cases. I think we have collected three bar charts. I don't like multiple bar charts, so I'll try to create a different view out of this. Maybe I'll create a T chart. I'll go to the second chart, convert this into maybe a lollipop chart should work. Increase the size of the bars. Come to the first one, decrease the size of the bar charts. Yes, I don't want to show anything here. Right click in this dual axis, right click synchronize axis. The first one will be a bar chart. I don't want to show any header. Deselect the header. Let me put this in this way so you can see the information properly. We are seeing the movie reviews, but I think this seems to be very neat and clean. So we have a lollipop chart which will say the duration about each and every movie with the top 10 IMDb scores. What we are having here is the movies with top 10 IMDb scores. Let's go on to create another chart. We have created three so far. Good. We have to create three more to build a dashboard. Not necessary that you need to have six, but having multiple charts becomes not more than 10. I would say 6 is an ideal number of charts that we can have on the dashboard. That's what I'm trying to do here. So I would like to see the trend of movies getting released. I would like to plot the year dimension. This is actually date. I've converted that into data type date, and let's see what happens. Starting from 1922 2020, we have information. Now what I'll do is I will see the number of movies that got released each and every year. Create a line chart out of it. See here, starting from 1920, we had movies, less than 50 movies getting released until 1990. Looks like the film market has boomed from in the late 1990s, where the number of movies started becoming very high. Whereas in 2009, 260 movies got released, and in 2014, 252 movies got released. But however, in 2016, the number of movies got reduced, maybe from a different factor. Yes, so we have filtered this data. I would like to keep this formatted beautifully because I like trends a lot. So I'll say um, trend number count of movies. I'll say movies against years, movies versus years. So here what I'll do is I'll format the chart nice and clean. I let it be there. I want this to be there. Okay. Excuse me. Yeah. Then I'll change this into a circle chart. The first one will be area chart. Looks good. So what I'll do is I'll right click, dual access this, synchronize access, and the first one I would like to keep it in the lightest color possible, and in the second one I'll keep the darkest color of the shade. Maybe I'll keep it pure white, which is contrast of things, and then I'll change the opacity if I want to, and then I'll reduce the size as well because it is very big. Since there is huge amount of data, there are multiple lines that we are seeing, but it is for the formatting purpose only. If you don't like, you can always remove it. Movies versus years. I'll apply this, keep this. Okay. Once we have this created, what I can do is right click, format. Perfect. So we have the numbers also. In this case, right click, rotate axis. It's not there. No issues. So we have created a view as well, but I would like to keep this up and rolling, for which what I'll do is I'll put this into the pages shelf. Year of title, yeah, that's what we have here. I'll select this. I'll ask the machine to show all. Okay, this can be this. Yeah, and then it has to be fast. Other which there are, since there are multiple years, we will not be able to see it. Look at the trend in which the movies were made. The movies were made very less until the late 1990s. After 1990s, the number of movies that is getting released has become huge in terms of production. And finally, in the current year, we have 100 and change movies that are getting released in the uh, you know uh, this is also nice. Yeah, let's play this one more time. So So we can see for each and every year, it is actually showing you a motion chart. It's not a static chart that we have created. It's a motion chart, which will show you the trend across all the years. And then I've kept it faster. So it will show us the information in a way it looks nice and clean and good. Perfect. So this is what we wanted to have in the movies versus years. Since we have created 4 different views, let's create one more view. What I can have is genres. What are the genres we have? We have 914 genres. Oh my goodness. Okay, we cannot have so many, so I'll remove this. Perfect. So I would like to see. Mm, but there are only 2 here. I'll let it be there. I would like to see how many color, black and white movies were made so far and how many color movies were made so far. So what I'll simply do is again use number of records, which will give me that particular information. Looks like very less black and white movies are made, various good number of color movies were made. And then I'll format this as well. This will be movie color. Okay, so we have this information. We can keep this in the middle. Apply this. Okay, with this I don't want a number, so I don't want to create, I wanted to create a pie chart out of it. I'll change the color also. I didn't like the colors. mm, I will take the color from here. This way we will be having perfect. So what I can do now is I can increase the size of the chart. Then I'll create a donut chart out of this. Okay, we have all this information where the black and white movies are here and the color movies are here, so we can add more information in this case. So what I'll do is um, number of records in this case 200 in this, and then we do not know what is this blue and sorry what is this green and what is this orange, so it will tell you how many black and white movies are made and how many color movies are made. So what we can do is we can add more information also by formatting this nice and clean. I'll just drag number of records into the text and then go there and say total number of movies. These are the total number of movies that got released. So I'll increase this size. Perfect. So we have movies that are made in two different colors, black and white, and the color movies as well. So we are able to categorize them and then plot them into a visualization. We will create one last chart and then go on to our most important aspect, dashboard. Building a dashboard is very easy. That's why we are spending a lot of time in creating the report. Once we have proper reports, then building it is as simple as it can be. Now we would like to see what is the country information. Let's see. Now is it a global map? Perfect. So we have movies from across all over the world, which is a good sign. So I'll try to create a map out of this chart. Uh, we don't want to find unknown. Let's just filter this data. Perfect. So we have movies from all the countries. I would like to see how many movies are made across each and every year, across each and every country. Looks like almost most of the countries representation here is only one movie, and in Europe there seems to be a lot of movies. I think in India also there is number of records 34. Here in Australia it is 55. It is very small, so let's not use this information. Maybe I'll use a different information. This is a very imbalanced data in terms of country content rating. Let's there in this. um okay, so let's see languages. How many languages are there? 48 languages are there. Okay, let's keep this language and see how many movies are made in were made in all these languages. English presumably, covers everything, but again, since this is very imbalanced, let's not use this as well. Okay, I wanted to see if the budget and the likes, what likes we have. Director Facebook likes, cast to total Facebook likes, face number and post. Okay, if the budget is more, whether it is generating more likes or not. This is what I wanted to see. For seeing this, I'll just disaggregate this. It's a very doesn't look so very intuitive. I'll clear this as well then. One last sheet. um Location, what is this? It's in hierarchy. Okay, it doesn't have any members in this. Movie title, product, what is there in product? Nothing again. Okay, so one last view I would like to see would be, mm, since genre has 900 ratings, we need to either split this or keep this. So I'm not going to split this, I'm just going to keep it as it is. And then okay, let's keep only this 5. I think it is enough because I'm not able to figure out another dimension that and a measure that I can pick for creating a view. Or maybe I'll try one last thing. Language is very imbalanced. Okay, let me split this information. Calculate genres. Genre. Apply this view. Okay. Let's see what we have here. Perfect, perfect. So we have only 21 genres, which is subsetted from the information. Using this genre information, we can see how many movies were made in all these genres accordingly. Looks like in action there are a lot of movies. In comedy there are a lot of movies. In crime, in drama, in horror there are a lot of movies. In other genres have very less information, less movies in it. To build a visualization, mm, what I can have here is I can have heat map. Okay, yeah, maybe a heat map, or I can simply create a line chart out of this. Okay, let's beautify this chart. The first chart I will have is a line area. Sorry, the color will be the lightest. The second one will have, and okay, let me paste the formatting here. Okay, this is genres versus movies. Again, in this case, I'll simply copy the formatting, paste it here. And the second one plus dual axis this. Go to the second chart, change the chart type into circle. I'll keep it in white so it will be very appealing. And now in this case we can increase the size since the number of entities are very less. And then what we can do is we can reduce the opacity of the area chart so it will look even better. Yeah. We don't want this. We don't want this as well as this. We can show the numbers directly in the views itself. Okay, it has become very big now. Let's reduce the size. This is enough. This is also a little bigger. Perfect. So I'll drag the number of records into the view. And I wanted them to be on top of everything. That's it. How many number of movies were made across all the different types of genres in movies? Successfully, we have completed all the 6 different views that we would like to keep it in the dashboard. Let's simply apply this. Give OK. Now let's go to dashboard. Now, learning dashboard is very simple. There are very few things that we must know. The first thing is what is the size of resolution to which the report has to be made. It is one of the most crucial steps because your client or stakeholder may not have the same resolution as your computer. Your computer might be having bigger resolution since you are a developer, but your stakeholders may not have the same type of resolution. So you need to identify what is the end user's resolution and create a dashboard accordingly on top of it. In order to do it, first what I'll do is I'll fix the size. The width looks fine to me. Height doesn't seem fine. Let me put this in full view and see. See, the idea is I should not have any scrollers in both vertical axis as well as horizontal axis. While developing it, I will have it. But once I put it into a full screen, I will not have any views in it. First thing is that once you define the size, then what you need to do is see here you will be able to see all the sheets that we have created so far. Then in the object section we have different types of objects that is powered by Tableau. The most required ones are horizontal and vertical bars. So before picking any objects, the first thing that you need to know is tiled or floating. Tiled is simply auto alignment. As soon as I drag and drop this, it automatically aligns this object into the entire worksheet. But floating is manual alignment. I can drag and drop it, but I have to manually place it where I wanted to have and place it. This is not the right approach to build the dashboard. Keep your dashboard always in tiled. And let's show a title to the dashboard as well. So enabling title will give us this. So here movies, I'll give movies metadata dashboard. Okay, this is the dashboard. Let's format the header first. It can be in the middle and it has to be in bold. We don't want this big of a font. Let's apply this and see how does it work. It looks good to me, but eventually I don't want to have the color white because the views that the reports that we have built is in different colors. So I'll go to layout, and then in layout what I'll do is I'll scroll down where the background I am going to pick the darker color that we have used to build the dashboard. I'll pick the same thing for my uh, header as well. Here we are not seeing the views like the values because it is in black. I'll change this into white. So we have the dashboard title ready, which says movies metadata dashboard. I didn't like the formatting because looks like it is not equal to the value that we had here. So what I'll simply do is I'll remove the containers, drag it from the first. I'll go to the layout. I'll change the entire layout into this color. Then what I'll do is I can add a vertical object and then title this. As soon as I drag and drop, it asks me where do you want to have this. I can title this with the help of you know uh, I can actually title this with the help of a vertical object. I just dragged and dropped a vertical object. These vertical and horizontal objects are used for dissecting the view. That is what we are going to use it. I'll simply copy this, and then if I wanted to give the title here, see here, I'll just double click on the text and then give this into what? Put it in the put and then do the formatting. It can be 14 or 16. Bold, it has to be white. I will just drag this into the header. We don't want such a big header. Now I'll go there, change the background into this one. So we have our header prepared by the dashboard, but headers are something that we will finally do. Just in the interest of showing you how to work on this, I'll did this, but here I've just created only one plain sheet which has simply nothing but green colored background. See here, we have kept it in tiled. We have only one vertical object, which is this entire variable. Now to collate all the information, first is drag and drop your visualization. As soon as you drag and drop it, see here, since it is in tiled mode, everything becomes auto fitting. Then I'll drag budget and collection to the right side. If I drag, see here, it gives me some shadow. I'll release it here, so it will keep my budget and collection there with the legends here. We don't want the legends, so I'll remove it. Then we can align this in the middle, so it has to be equally represented. Then what we can have is, I can have IMDb scene duration, score versus duration. I'll keep it at the last again, so we can have three views in one row. I'm just going to break this into three views per row, so we will have two columns, sorry, two rows, which will have six visualization. We have dragged and dropped everything one by one. Then I'll drag and drop movies and years below this. Since the below option is not working, scroll down. Now choose movies versus years. Come down here. It creates a visualization in the shadow format. I'll keep it in the middle. So I'll keep it in the bottom. I did not format this title. Okay. Format title. Shading darker. Okay, so we have movies and years. I will drag this one also, which is let's shade and see what is the title. Movie colors. Okay, we don't want these legends. Let's close the legends. The last thing we have is genres versus movies. Again, we don't have this here. Format the title. Shading, I can keep it. I'll keep everything removed. I'll copy the formatting here. The formatting seems to differ a little. I don't know why. Okay. Fine, but after collating, I am understanding that this seems to be too much for this dashboard because it's a very small dashboard. Too many informations are there. So I'll remove movies versus colors. I don't want that to be present. So other which ways it will create so many, so much of space will be used. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just keep things as it is. I'll see if I can tilt this and keep the numbers. This is kind of fine. Yeah, this is kind of fine. So let's keep it in this way. And this, okay, perfect. So here what I'm going to do is here I'll right click and just choose fit option where it has to be fit in the entire view. Let me see the same thing here as well. Fit into entire view. Perfect. But this is not very this is very clear that it is not fit into entire view. I'll choose fit into entire view. Here it seems it is fit into entire view. I will just check. Yes. Same happens here as well. It has to be in the entire view. Perfect. Border none. Shading border none. Okay. Looks good. Good to me. We have we have tried to keep all the information at one place. This is how we can build a dashboard. It is all about keeping things and aligning it. Then we need to format this. So what I'll do is I will drag a vertical object on top of everything and create a title for it. Perfect. So here first go to layout. In layout change your background into the color that we already have and then add a text to it. The text will be movies visualization metric dashboard. The movie titles, the sheet names are very bigger. I'll just keep them in 11. Perfect. So we are now able to represent everything. Maybe I would like to just delete this so I can show only four charts. Perfect. So we have visualization for four different charts, which tells us what is what, but we don't have any filters in this case. If I choose Avengers, the entire data will not talk about, the entire dashboard will not talk about Avengers. So what we can do is once you select the view, you can choose use as filter option in all the charts. So what happens with this filter option is everything that is there inside the member of your dashboard will act as a filter. So this is how your dashboard will look like after formatting things. Now what if I wanted to um, keep the data as it is? In this case, if you see here, okay, I now understand why it is, why there's a black. Just give me a second. I'll choose the entire container. Go to the layout. The background has to be this. Now it makes sense. Now we can very clearly distinguish between four different charts. The first view is top 10 movies by collection. Maybe we will try to format everything. Just a second. Uh, but since we have created a user filter option, say for an example, I would like to see the only for a particular year 2011. If I select 2011, the entire data will show only for 2011. Here none of the top 10 movies by collection and none of the movies that we have in the budget versus collection is from the year 2010. What if I would like to see in which year this information has come from? This kind of these movies are, if I just select Avengers, then the entire data will talk only about Avengers. See here, the budget of Avengers is 440 million, where the collection is 1 lakh, sorry, 1246 million. It got released in the year 2012 and it is falling into the category of action. And there are two movies that released in the action genre in that particular year 2012. So this is how we can actually keep everything dynamic. We have created everything separately, but we can actually collate everything into one place to create interactive uh, interactive dashboarding experience. We have seen filters, we have seen this. I think buttons and extensions are not something that we can learn now. Maybe I'll, if I wanted to, what if I wanted to have different filters that I would like to have in the visualization? In those cases, um, yes, I'll show you a very neatly. This is just something that we built in 1 hour. Dashboarding will eventually take time. So I'll show you one neat dashboard that I've built end to end. Let's wait. Once it opens, I'll explain what are the different components that we can have. We can actually have navigation buttons. We can have text, which we already have seen. We can add images also. So for an example, if I wanted to add an image, I'll keep this in floating and then add an image. That way I can align my image wherever I wanted to have it. Let me show you. From the reference pics, I can pick whatever images that I wanted to have in this visualization. For creating an action, I can create an action also in this. Um, I'll just give OK. Since I have closed the object, I think it is not showing up. Let me show this one more time. So this image appears. So I can reduce the size of this image and then add it in my dashboard and create an action out of it if you want to. So let's see the dashboard completely. So we'll have a title which says movies data visualization metric dashboard, which has 4 different views. Generally, we can create multiple different views as well, depending on the requirement. Now, let me show you the dashboard that I've built for weeks. I've taken more than a week to build the current the dashboard that I'm going to show you now. Dashboarding is, since it's a visual medium, every single thing matters. The color combination matters a lot. You need to have a real good taste in identifying the colors that can actually blend together. The more the blending happens, the better it will look like in terms of visualization. So you need to be very careful about the objects. You need to be very careful about the colors and everything else that is related to your dashboard. If you see this, it's a dashboard that I have built from Sample Superstore Retail Metrics dashboard. What happens is it has two buttons in this. One is descriptive analysis, another one is predictive analysis. As soon as I click on this, it will take me to another sheet, which is navigation, which will show me all the summary information, all basic descriptive information, descriptive analysis output will be shown. I have created several sheets, several views for building this dashboard. If you see here, I've taken one here, I've taken one here, two here, three here, four, five, six. This is a chart, 7, 8, and 9. 9 charts I have created, and then I've tried to collate it into one view to create a visualization out of it, which will convey multiple information. I've also formatted and kept the measures, filters. So if I wanted to change the entire view that we are seeing is at a quantity level. What if I wanted to see the entire sales day as information about this business? I simply choose sales. The entire views that we are seeing here converts into sales. So the overall sales is this much, corporate has contributed this much, home office contributed this much, and consumer products have contributed this much. There are 3,226 orders placed in total. The profit ratio is only 12%, and the total number of manufacturers is 140. And this is the trend. In September, we have really good sales. In December also sales is good, but in all the other months, the sales is not as efficient as it can be. Talking about subcategories, chairs seem to contribute more to the business than any other uh, you know subcategories that we have. And in which region do we have more sales? In the west region and east region, the sales is happening really good. What if I wanted to choose for a particular year and see the information? I can see that the same thing happens for a category also. And then I can reset the filters. I can hide this button so that the menu bar will not appear. We can have a show hide button, and then I can have a home page where it will take me to the home screen where we will be able to play with uh, predictive analytics. If I press predictive analytics, it gives me three options. What I wanted to see, if I wanted to see simple linear regression, it will take me there. For clustering, it will take you there. For forecast modeling also, it will take you there. If I choose simple linear regression, it takes you to a visualization that I've created. And if I wanted to add more layers to this, I can see what is the dimension in which the linear regression is built, what is the independent and target variable. You can change the independent and target variable based on your reference, based on your requirement, and you can see what is the dimension. White is first class, a little lighter shade is same day, and this one is second class, and this one is standard class. Again, I can go to the home page. I can work on the clustering and the forecast modeling wherever. If I wanted to see what is there in K clustering, it takes you to clustering output as well. Again, I can come back to this. So whatever functionalities that you have seen here are all buttons only, navigating from one place to another place basis our requirement. That is the idea behind building a view as well. So whenever you are building a view, you must be very careful about what and all views that you need to show, what are the columns, what are the measures, and all those informations. Once you are clear with that, you can directly go ahead and then build a dashboard and provide the filtering capabilities to the users, because filters are very important in most of the dashboards. I would say almost all the dashboards and reports requires a filter. So supply filters and then you ask the user to provide it. What if I wanted to add filter in this existing chart? I'll go to the genres, or maybe I can go to the movies versus years also, where see here, I'll right click, I'll ask the machine to show the filter. It'll show here. I would like to it doesn't show me the start year and end year. Format filter, or maybe I'll go to the dashboard. Dashboard will look clean. Go to the drop down in filters, choose the year of title year, and will show you all the years that are there in the data set. Since we don't want so much of information, we will change the filter type into multiple values, drop down, and it has to be floating. So what I can do is I can drag and drop this filter into this particular view and choose whatever view, whatever information that I can see. Um, Format, filter, and set controls. The font is this. The body will have a shading like this. Yes, the title also will have a font. I'll simply say here, keep it in the middle. Just apply. Now put it into a full view. Now we are seeing all the years. So what I can do is, what if I wanted to control few, what if I wanted to select only few years? I'll add one more option to this, show apply button. That's it. Here I can choose whatever years that I wanted to choose. Once you choose this many years, simply apply. So your view, this particular view will show information only for that particular information. Looks like only one year is there. So we'll choose as many as I can. And then simply choose apply. It will have multiple values now. After generating rows, it will show us the movies across years. Apply this. It didn't get applied. Okay, let's remove the not remove as in reset the filter using the cross icon that appears when you apply a filter. But ideally you can filter or subset or play with the information that are there in the dataset. That brings us to the end of filters, sorry, dashboards and the features in dashboards. There are horizontal object, the vertical object, the text object, the buttons, and the navigations. I'll see if I have anything else in dashboards. So there are screenshots for each and every step that we have done here. We can drag and drop, play with it. Story. Okay, let's go to story. Story is simply a representation of um, PowerPoint only. This is the option that you use to create the stories. I'll say presentation. So this is simply used as your PPT, alternative to PPT. So whenever you have a lot of information that cannot be shown in the dashboard, in our case also we had we have created six different views, but we were not able to collate everything without adjusting it. So what I can do is I can actually put all the sheets as a representation, as a presentation to in the storyboard. I can again I can give the headers and explanation to each and every slide and specify why it is being presented. Again, the same thing is you can have the size of the storyboard. The width is fine with me, not the height. I'll keep 575. Perfect. This looks good to me. So what I'll do is here, first the dashboard can also be dragged and dropped here. I can simply drag and drop the IMDb score versus duration. Then what I'll do is I will add the caption here. I'll say IMDb versus movie duration. Okay. What if the user is not understanding this clearly? We can drag to add text. Here I can drag and say this view explains information about the duration of movies for the best 10 IMDb scores. Not necessary that it has to be so big, but big enough for the user to understand what is it, and then place it somewhere so that the user can understand this. The shading I didn't like. Let's right click, format this. I don't want any shading in this, and the border has to be thickish white. So it will stand alone. So it is more or like a PowerPoint presentation. If I wanted to create a new slide, I'll simply choose blank, where I will drag and drop movie colors. The filters and legends will also be a part of it if you want to have it. Then, one second. Okay, here I can say movie colors. Movie colors. If I wanted to add a title to it, I can add a title. Then I'll create a blank. I will add this chart, which is movies by collection. I'll create another slide where I will drag and drop budget versus collection. There is nothing in terms of formatting in story. As I said, it's a very basic representation of your PowerPoint presentation. Then finally, I will add the genres versus modes. Now I can come here. That's pretty much what I have in storyboard. I can go to layout where I can change this captions into numbers, or I can keep it as dots, or I can keep arrows only. These are the only formatting that is available. But as I said, it is simply a replication of your PowerPoint presentation. So I'll keep PPT here, the first sheet, and then the user can toggle between all the other views using the left and right key in the dashboard, so in the view. And then if they wanted to play this will again work properly. Every view that we have created does not change its functionality in a dashboard or in a story. The functionalities will remain the same, so you can play with it. I'm playing this a little fast, so it will explain us how the data is being generated. Perfect. And I can see the dashboard. If I wanted to add the dashboard into the storyboard, I can do that also. This is purely for presentation purpose only. You must keep that in mind. It is purely for presentation purpose. But adding a dashboard into your storyboard doesn't make any sense. So I can simply remove this. That's pretty much is what we have in both dashboards as well as in storyboards. Let's go to the deck. You have seen this. Yeah, you can just for give information so that the user can understand what it is. That's it, but it will be static. And so we have seen. Okay, perfect. That brings us to the end of this class. Let me quickly recap what we have learned in this class. We learned about dashboards in Tableau, and we also learned about stories. Dashboards are basically the final product of a data visualization environment where we will be collating multiple views into one. Various not just collating information as dashboard, collating multiple views as dashboard. We will be able to dynamically create interactions between each and every view that we are having inside the dashboard, and it will be helpful for the user to apply any filters and see what is happening in the data as well. Talking about storyboard is the simplest version of PowerPoint where you can dump all your presentations and views into it, and then add text or explanation, as in why are we doing it, why this particular view is not incorporated into the dashboard, what this view can add extra to the existing dashboard or to the business, and all those things can be written and presented as a presentation as well. And that's it. Thank you so much for joining this session. Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to OdinSchool. We'll see you in the next class. Thank you again.